Okay guys, in this video I'm going to go ahead and show you how to draw two large buildings, and we're going to be adding two cylinders as well as a pyramid as a rooftop, about 4 windows and 3 doors, all of which will have their frames with them. Make sure that you are labeling your paper. I went ahead and already did that, so if you want to pause the video right now to take a look and finish that independently, that's totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started with the first building, which is going to be right over here. I'm going to grab my ruler, and anytime you are wanting to create a building or anything that is three-dimensional, remember to use this technique. I'm actually going to be making a vertical rectangle. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to draw it right here. I'm going to line up the ruler right to the paper. Here. And then right. You can see that they are not connected right here, so I'm going to go back and connect the two lines. Then I'm just going to go ahead and erase the portion I no longer need. Now that we have the rectangle drawn, we're going to go ahead and add the 3 rays. Now notice how the rectangle is sitting right on top of the horizon line. Because of that, we're going to go ahead and instead of drawing 3 rays, we're only going to be connecting this corner here to the vanishing point and this corner here. So instead of 3 rays, it's going to be 2. There it is. Okay. We're then going to close this up. We're going to be adding 1 vertical line up front. So there's going to be 1 right here in the back. Okay. Horizontal line is only if we can see the top or the bottom. In this case, we cannot. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase those. I am, however, going to make another building over here to the right side. This time, instead of placing it right on top of the horizon line, I'm going to go ahead and place it below the horizon line. So I'm going to place it right here. And this time, instead of a rectangle, I'm going to go ahead and just make a square. And I'm doing this relatively quickly because we've already spent a lot of days tackling these geometric forms. I'm now going to go ahead and now that the 1 square is done, I'm going to go ahead and connect to the 3 rays. This time, because it's below the horizon line, it definitely will have the 3 rays. So here's the first one. Here's the second one. Here is the third one. We're going to add 1 vertical line. Take a look. We can see this side and this side. So we're only going to be focusing on these sides. This is a vertical line up front. Whatever we see in the front, we're going to go ahead and place right behind. So right here, and place right there. And then this time, because we can see the top, there's a horizontal line here. We're going to go ahead and place the horizontal line right there. And then we're going to erase this portion. It's no longer needed. Okay, and so now we have 2 buildings. We're going to go ahead and start adding the doors and the windows to these. Something that I highly recommend is, especially if you have a hard time visualizing it, rough sketch it first and then clean it up with the ruler. So I'm going to show you guys how to use only a ruler and how to do the sketching, cleaning up with the ruler. So over here, I'm going to be creating, so we'll do 2 windows on this side, 2 windows on this side, and we'll do the same thing over here. Okay, so over here, I'm going to be creating some longer windows over here, over here. I want them all the same length. Okay, we're then going to be adding the frames to these. So here's the frame. The frame is just going to be larger rectangles around these two. So I'm actually going to do this off camera, but I'm going to show you this one on camera first. Okay, this is what we're doing. And that's what we're going to do for this one, okay? But I'm going to do that one off camera. Okay, so I went ahead, I added the frame to this one here. I even added a little bit of detail. We're gonna go ahead and just add the edge to the frames. It's actually a really good idea to sharpen your pencil, so I'm actually going to do that right now. Okay, so I went ahead and I sharpened my pencil. I'm gonna go in just a little bit more closely, that way you guys can see. And then what I'm going to do is this rectangle here, I'm going to go ahead and make the parallel lines. There's one. There's another. Here's the last one. And then we're going to go in. Here's the vertical line. Here is the horizontal line. And so now these window and the window frames look like they're coming right off of the building, so they look more three-dimensional. I'm going to do the same thing over here. That one's not connected. Make sure you're connecting all of your lines, you guys. Okay, there it is. Then I can go in. Okay. And there's that. And then just for like a bit of added detail, especially with windows or glass, if you want it to look like it's reflecting, you just add like a line or two. That way from far away it looks like it's glass. Okay, so right here might not look convincing, but we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it from further away. And there it is. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how you can freehand the window and then just clean it up with the ruler. So over here, take for example, if I wanted to create maybe one window here and then one window here, that's all good and fine. I went ahead and I kind of proportioned it. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean it up with the ruler. See, we still have the rectangles. It's still the first step. We're not really changing anything besides sketching it first rather than using a ruler. Okay. From here, we're going to go ahead and we are going to create the frames. Okay. And again, you can kind of freehand these. To give the dimension. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean up right here and right here. And then notice how this side is a lot thicker than this side. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to try to make it a little bit thinner. So I'm just gonna use a ruler to clean that up. I'm gonna bring it a little bit in there. That way it matches a lot better. And then over here, I'm just going to connect these two. There it is. Then I'm just going to go ahead and say, okay, I want the window to have a frame like this. Then we're just going to go in. We're just going to clean it up like that. Okay. And again. Just adding a little bit of lines to give that reflection or that reflective effect. We're now going to add the sides. So over here, these are our rectangles. Now we're going to go in and add the rays. 1 ray, 2 ray, 3 ray, 1 ray, 2 ray, 3 ray, vertical line up front, vertical line in the back, vertical line up front, vertical line in the back, horizontal line up front. We're going to go ahead and connect it to the back. Here. Right there. And now this time we see the side and we see the top. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to draw the windows on this side. And so what we're going to do is we're going to draw really skinny rectangles. Okay, so these are going to be rectangle 1. Okay, this is our rectangle, so that's step 1. We're going to go ahead and add 3 rays. So right here, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. And just like that. Okay, now that we have our rays, we're going to go ahead and add the vertical line. So right here, this is vertical. So vertical line back here. Then we have our horizontal line. So the horizontal line is up front. We're going to go ahead and move it to the back. Okay, I'm going to erase this portion here. Okay, now we have the window frame. All we need is the interior. So we have the essentially the frame. We're just going to be drawing this now. So it's now going to be a little square. Okay, the biggest thing to realize is that these are just going to be really straight lines. The bottom and the top are what's going to change. Because it's on the side of the building, now we're going to go ahead and these are also going to be raised. That way it looks like it's receding into space. And then we add about that. In my hand, slipped a little bit, so there it is. And so there's our second one. You can kind of do that. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys again. So it's going to be, I'm going to make this one a little bit larger. So rectangle. rectangle. Then parallel lines, 3 rays, 1 ray, 2 ray, 3 ray. Then a vertical line, we see one up front here, so we should see one back here. And then right here we have a horizontal line, so back here, horizontal line. Okay, and then we're just going to be adding in here those 2 straight lines. Okay, angled lines because it's on the side. And then we're just going to be adding another straight line, more like that, to give the rest of the details. And now again we can see the side and we can see the top. Cool. And so that's how we're going to kind of use the technique to create windows.